people of Africa, African Youth Time. It's the show, as I rightly said, that gives African youth the platform to have an up close with living legends who are helping build the continent.
If you hear any music with rhythm, it's African music. What can you call European music? European music is classical without the rhythm. You understand what I'm saying? Sure. But speak about Brazilian music. You see the drum, you see the congas, you see a lot of percussion, and you build the music on the rhythm. These are two different things. Africa's gift to the world, or black people's gift to the world, is music. You know, when you watch MTV, you watch the music that comes from the West. It glorifies yourself. Yeah. Oh baby, come. Oh baby, shake your booty for me. And that's not what music is supposed to be.
Okay. Talking of that, do you think American music or European music has polluted African music? Or do you think it has done us a lot of good? Or do you think it has set us a sort of benchmark that we're all trying to get to, such that an African musician will be like, when you are interviewing an African musician, you'll be like, I want to be like Beyonce. Yes, I'm going to be like Kanye West. Do you think we have the music is setting us some standard which is not supposed to be?
That is the trick. It's more than a trick. It's a plot. Okay. If you ask me. All right. Okay. I may speak about some issues that you need to think very deep into it before. Even when you go to the Kanye West, the Beyonce, the what do you call Usher, those great singers, those with positive messages do not get the fat contracts from the record companies. You have to toe a certain line. You understand what I'm saying? You have to sing something. Take off more clothes. The more naked you are, the fatter your contract becomes. That shows you they are not interested in your message. They are not interested in anything that will enlighten the masses to revolt against the injustice in life. So they want the ones who will sing about nothing. Sing about nothing.
About sex, about
exactly.
Money.
Then you get promoted. Oh. But if you have the truth, you hit to the call, hey, this guy is too dangerous. And that's how the system has always been. And we on this other side, you see, on television, sin is made to look very good. Yeah. When you see, it started out with cigarettes, smoking of cigarettes and all that, and you see all those cowboys who come and they are smoking and they are looking cool. For you, you don't see what is behind, the cancer and the sicknesses that's behind. You see, okay, hey, the guy comes with his gun and he's smoking, and you just without the right direction, you just start doing it. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody should tell you Africa is poor. Okay. I come from a continent, I eat mango, I throw it, I come 3 weeks later, there's a mango tree standing. You understand what I'm saying? So you cannot tell me I'm poor. I take my shoes off, I walk on gold. You go to Obuasi, there are people walking on gold. They are not poor. It's their mentality that they are made to believe they are poor. We are not poor. The resources in Congo alone can feed the whole Africa. Wow.
As it is now, we are not making use of the capabilities of our women. That is why many of us women who've entered, say, what we call male-dominated worlds, please, like some of the professions, like, I don't know, the army, politics, you find more men than women. Sure. So we've had to work doubly hard.
Yeah, extra hard.
To compete, yes.
We don't have a lot of young people excited about opportunities. Even if they say, come and clean this office. Me, come and clean, a university graduate, But when they go abroad, they clean. When they go abroad, they are security men. But they look at the income they receive to do that. But maybe if you learn how to clean well, you will not just be a cleaner, you'll be the owner of a cleaning firm. Please, do you understand? But this is where the youth miss it. They think the opportunity should be handed over to them. For example, national service is a great opportunity for the youth. But how many national service personnel take national service seriously? They go lackadaisically, they go to work late, they go and just walk about, and then they come back home complaining about everything. But maybe you are the change that that firm needs. You are the one to turn things around by sacrificing, and not just sacrifice, learning. If you learn and you sacrifice, maybe that organization can turn around because of you, and guess who they will employ? You. But most young people will go there and complain about the leaders in there. Oh, this leader is this. Instead of learning from the experience and expertise of those leaders, they don't. They go and while away their time, Facebook, chats, and come right back home and demand their allowance at the end of the month. So they leave after 1 year with no expertise, no experience. And guess what? Nobody wants them there anyway. All right, so there are opportunities, but the youth have decided that they want better opportunities. Who would create that opportunities for you? I don't know. Personally, I worked very hard. And I think every young person should be given opportunity right from JSS, every holiday to work. So by the time you get to SSS, the culture of work is ingrained in your DNA. Then when you get to national service, you are already a worker. You know what to do. You don't go and sit there and say, my boss didn't give me anything to do. I am only doing photocopies. You know how to do nothing. So that's all you can do. But if you know how to do things, by the time you get there, people are ready to give you responsibility. And people don't have time to waste on somebody who doesn't want to learn. So the question is, what are we doing to prepare the youth from an early stage in our educational process to take up the culture of work so that they become useful to the system? Yeah. And what are we doing to change their mindset that work is good for learning? It is not just book. I had 5 A's and I had 6 A's and I had first class. That has nothing to do with applying it to the problems. So one, there must be a mindset change for the youth that there are opportunities. There are challenges, but there are far more opportunities than challenges. Second, they must be willing to learn. Third, they must be willing to contribute to solving problems. By doing that, all the challenges we talk about will disappear because we will hold people accountable. We'll be able to hold our leaders accountable. We'll be able to tell our government that, look, this policy is not favorable for the youth. I would like to work when I'm JSS so that I'll learn how to serve. When I get to SSS, I would like to intern. When I get to university, I would like to work at least 6 hours every week. So while you're educating yourself and getting the academic laurels, you also are acquiring that experience of work. By the time you finish national service, you are ready for work. In the event that you don't get work, because you have worked in different areas, you can create work for yourself. And then our lives will be much, much better. So bottom line, I think, using my own life, there are more opportunities. I wish I had 10 hands. I would take all the opportunities. But hey, I am just a human being. So I can do what I can do for now.
Yeah, sure.
A lot of people are in journalism because they think it's a job. They are doing it so that they can get paid at the end of the month, so that they can buy food, they can dress well, they can drive good cars, and so on. Now, for those people, I pity them. And when I go around the journalism schools and I see these hundreds of people, I say, where are the jobs? Even the people who are in the field already, we are finding it very, very difficult to keep body and soul together. So if you're in journalism to make money and so on, fame, I don't know what is fame. Okay. And some of the things that people call fame, I don't want to have it. You know. Okay. So there are too many journalism schools and so on. The opportunities for the practice of journalism are shrinking. And so I don't know how all these students in journalism school are going to survive.
I don't care where I find myself, whether radio or whether I would have been a doctor. I think what God has destined me to do is what I'm doing. But it all comes from where we grow up, our background. You see, our background and our foundation to a large extent, has influence on who you become or what you become in future. Because you are influenced by the environment, what you see, what you hear, how people influence you. My mom is a trader. My mom sells. She buys, provisions or groceries and sell. And I'm the firstborn of my parents. So I assist my mom in her trading business. My dad is a civil servant. So civil servant, they deal with papers, government. But I'm very close to my mom than to my dad. So I believe that my entrepreneurial capabilities were built or developed as I move along with my mom's trade business.
But do you think our Ghanaian curriculum is really enough, or is really helping as entrepreneurs? Because you can see a young person who has the idea to do something, but then you end up in school studying, someone will say pi r square, and doing k is a constant of s, learning the part of a rabbit and all that. At the end of the day, where is the entrepreneurship in that? Do you think our curriculum has done us a lot of good as Ghanaians or as Africans?
It has nothing to do with the curriculum. You see, we go to school and we are taught principles. Okay. Even if you go to school and you are taught business management, it doesn't mean that you become a successful business owner or operator. You can go to school and study, let's say, engineering. It does not mean that you become a successful engineer or marketing or advertising. You are taught the principles. But when you come out of school, it is now up to you to apply the principles, create value, or make a difference. And that is where the entrepreneurship comes out. So we don't have a problem with the curriculum or the courses that we study in school.
Fine. Just to cut you short, then what is killing us? Because if we have so many entrepreneurs in Ghana, I think our economy shouldn't be what it is now. Right. So what is killing us as a people?
You've asked the most intelligent question, and this is where viewers are going to get the key to unlock their potential and also begin to harness. What is killing Africans, and especially African youth, is our inability to discover and identify our potentials and what we can do for ourselves. But you cannot blame the youth. You have to blame the elders or the leaders. Because in the developed countries, a parent will sit down with a child, even at age 10, and ask the child, what do you want to do or what do you want to become? We see in the developed countries that parents accompany their children to concert, they accompany their children to theater, to cinema, they accompany their children to go and engage in competition. They tell them that you are doing well, they encourage them. So the ability of the child is identified and discovered by the family. The family encourages them and it motivates them. So they know that they are on the right track. If they are going wayward, they bring them on track. But here in Africa, I'm sorry to say that most parents have checked their responsibility, or they fail to live up to their responsibility, because we have a lot of fatherless children. So it becomes difficult for such a child to discover what he can do, because the child is even struggling to make ends meet. The child is even struggling to get quality education. The child is struggling to get basic necessities. Yes. So if a child finds him or herself in such an environment, no matter the course that you study in school, you are looking at the shortest possible exit that will land you a job. So you are looking for an already market or already made job that will employ you and you make money. Now when you go into the job, because you know that you have struggled your way through to get to wherever you are now, then you begin to do what? Amass wealth. You begin to siphon money. You begin to steal, because you know that the position is not permanent. Somebody will come and take you off tomorrow.
Nobody makes you a leader. You become a leader.
What is it that African youth are not doing, that they are not doing right?
A young African will walk up to you and tell you, ma'am, I want to start a business. I say, good, that's a great thing. What kind of business do you want to do? He says, A, B, C, D. How much do you want, or how much do you need to do that business? He tells you, I need 1,000 Ghana cedis, but he's holding an iPhone 7. That's 3,500 Ghana cedis. And you're looking for 1,000 Ghana cedis. It tells me immediately something is wrong with you. Because all you need to do is what? Sell that phone. But no, he wants to keep the phone and still say he's not got the money.
Before newspapers and radio, when incidents happen, people will make a song of it. And then when the song is spread across, it will be telling the story. It's very magnificent, you know. I mean, we have to write these stories because nobody will believe that they happen like that. You understand? And I found out that the same thing happened in Europe too. When they say London Bridge is falling down, it's a story. Okay? That's how they kept the story, you know, intact and then spread it. We have that and we do that instantly, you know, magnificently. So it's difficult for people to get the idea of buying music. They always want music for free, you know, but we have to change the mindset because there's cost factors involved now. There's specialization, there's study, there's everything. So, but also our economists have to improve for people to have the purchasing power. If we do, we have a massive market, you know, bigger than anywhere else. You know what I mean? And, you know, our music will thrive. So it has a great potential, but we have to start thinking. Instead of just waiting for people to tell us, jump, then you jump. Land, then you land. You know, you see what I mean? We are bona fide, some of the best culture in the whole world, but we have to recognize it. If you don't see it, if you don't know it, you won't see it. You understand?
We're talking about the secrets for the development of Malaysia. The 1 and 2 steps that they took, that today Malaysia is on the map. We're learning from them as Africans. We're learning some of the tools and the skills that we can adapt and to develop our continent as well. So, Mr. Farhan, people have challenged or have spoken about the Ghanaian educational system as being more theory than practical. There's more of classroom work than practical. I don't know the kind of system you have in Malaysia, but how is the system like? And has that also contributed to the development of Malaysia? You can share with us.
The education system in Malaysia is a bit similar to Ghana. We started our schooling days by going to primary school and followed by secondary and of course the tertiary education. But what makes difference is that we have our own mother tongue, which is the Malay language. And the Malay language is our official language and followed by English. So there are several subjects are taught in English and some in Malay language. So by having said that, in terms of what, like you said just now, in Ghana, for instance, you have practical and theory. It's similar to us. We have that kind of arrangement as well. We have theory and what do you call? Yes, exactly. So I don't see much difference in terms of that. But I've been informed that in Ghana, for instance, you have some subjects on agriculture, for example, which is good because at least I would say like not everyone will excel in education. But by giving this training and knowledge during the school days, it's really important for the survival actually. In Malaysia, the tourism industry is one of the biggest income generator for Malaysia. Wow. We have, every state we have what they call tourist attractions, places to visit and so on. And we also, since the tourism is very big in Malaysia, we have our own Ministry of Tourism. And we have also tourism offices abroad to promote tourist destinations in Malaysia. So in Ghana, for example, if you see that they have a lot of potential in tourism, but we want to see a lot more capital is injected into this what they call industry. For instance, if you go to Cape Coast, you see a lot of beautiful beaches and so on. But I think even the infrastructure should be one of the consideration to be built. For example, the access road to make clean to make beaches more clean and so on. I would say that some of the tourism destination in Ghana, you have the potential. For example, in terms of fauna, for example, you have all year round the whale will come in one particular stretch of beach on the way to Cape Coast, if I'm not mistaken. So it can be a tourist destination whereby people can see the animals, the wild animals like that. But what lack is a proper system to bring the tourists from the town center, the Accra, for example, to that particular place. And for tourists, sometimes you feel like a bit problematic to get access, to get information on that particular area that you want to visit. But you'll be surprised when you visit the place, it's very nice. So it's really important to have it marketed well, to build good infrastructure, and to have it marketed abroad as well is good. Yeah.